Hello. So, because it is June, technically my birth month, my birthday is June 2nd, so woohoo, birthday month. But it is also Pride Month, which is the best month out of the entire year, if you ask me. The parades are amazing, the love is amazing, everything about it is amazing. So I picked out some books that I think everybody could read during Pride Month. So I have some that I've already read and some that I have, but I haven't read them yet. And I'm hoping to read them during the month of June. So we'll see if I finish all of them by the end of the month. Chances are I may not. Just because I have a lot of books on my TBR and I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of them and these. But we'll see. So the first one I have that I've already read is this poetry book called Butch Geography, and it's by Stacey Waite. I got this book when I first started looking at colleges, and it means a whole lot to me. I actually have it signed with a personal message. I got to meet Stacey Waite while I was touring a school. Their poetry department was having a meet and greet with her, and she did a talk, and I was privileged enough to get invited to it, and I got to go and see it, and it was such an amazing moment. This is one of my books, I'll find a good page for it, where I have some annotations. I use clear sticky notes, so that's why my annotations are a little bit reflective, but I use colored pencil to do my annotations. I don't really write anything, I just kind of underline in different colors, and I have them color-coded, so I understand what they mean. But I absolutely love this book. The poems are so well written, there's so much emotion in them, and it's just amazing. Recommend it to everybody. Next one is another one that I absolutely loved, Suicide Notes. It is technically written for teens. It's published by Harper Teen, but it is so good. Even if you're an adult, it's written in the point of view of a 15-year-old who wakes up in a psychiatric ward, and it's learning about him and why he's there and his backstory and all the people that he meets there, and it is so good. I read this book less than 2 days. It was probably like a day and a couple extra hours the next day. I read it so fast. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't put it down. Definitely recommend this book to absolutely anybody, no matter what you're into. Please read this book. It's so good. The next one I was not so into. This is May the Best Man Win by Z.R. Allure. I just wasn't a fan of it. I know that there are a lot of people out there that enjoyed it, but I personally did not. I didn't like any of the characters. They were just kind of insufferable, which I guess is kind of the point. They're high schoolers, they're figuring their stuff out. I just didn't like them. There was some really good representation in the book, I'll say. There's so many different kinds of identities, kinds of people. There's autism awareness in the book, which I really love. I personally work in special needs, so that's something that's near and dear to my heart. But I didn't feel like the representation was good enough in that field. But that's just me. Not my thing, I guess. The next one I don't have a physical copy of. I read it on my Kindle, so I'll put a little picture of it somewhere on here. But The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Absolutely amazing book. It wasn't a 5-star for me, it was just a 4-star, but it was so good. I did not see the end coming. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't read it yet. But I absolutely loved it. The ending I did not see coming, but I felt like it was a beautiful end to the story that we heard. There was so much going on, so many different love stories and categories going on everywhere. It was beautiful. I definitely recommend it to whoever has been looking at it and is thinking about reading it. Read it. If you're not positive you'll like it, just read it. It's so good. So, next I have a nice little stack of books that I have but haven't read yet. So our first one, I've seen people saying that this is a book to read during Pride, so I included it. American Psycho by Easton Ellis. I'm so excited to read this book. I originally got it because I'm a psych major, so I'm very, very into psych. I'm very into, like, serial killers, murderers, thrillers, suspense, mysteries, all that kind of stuff. And I've heard that this is amazing for people that like that kind of stuff. So I'm very, very excited for this one. Next one, I actually know absolutely nothing about. Saw it at Barnes & Noble at the cafe counter. Decided I had to have it because it looked cool and it was their $5 book of the month. So, this is The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp. I know nothing about it, so I can't tell you really what it's about and what kind of characters are in it, but there are, I know, 2 girls that are together in this book, and I'm very excited to read this one because the cover drew me in. It looked really good. From what the back says, it sounds really cool. So, very excited to read this one. We'll see when I get around to it. The next one, I've been waiting to read until I am done with work for the summer. That way I can read it and be emotional in my own home instead of emotional on my lunch break at work. This is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagira. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Correct me if I'm not. I have heard so much about this book. I cannot wait to read it in the privacy of my own home where I can sob and ugly cry over it like so many people are doing. It is a big book. It is, let's see how many pages. 814 pages. So it's a big book. I don't know how long it will take me, especially if I'm wiping away tears to be able to finish it. Super excited to get around to it, though. The cover is beautiful. Reviews I've seen for it are back and forth. It's either they hate it because of how much it makes them sob, or they love it because of how much it makes them sob. I have a feeling I'll love it. Will update you after I read it. The last one. Also very excited to read it. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I'm so excited to read it. I've heard that you should read Circe before you read this one. I've never read Circe, and I don't have Circe, but I've heard a lot of people say that you can read it without reading that one first. So I'm super excited to read it. I've seen all over that this is a good book to read during Pride, but I don't know why it is yet, so I'm very excited to find out. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, except for the sticker that you can't remove. I hate the stickers that you can't remove. But I cannot wait to read this beautiful, gorgeous book. Like, oh, the gold. I love it. Super excited to read it. Put your reviews in the comments if you've already read it. I will update when I finish this book. Hopefully I'll finish them all and I'll be able to give an update on all of them. But we'll see. I'm a little bit slow on reading lately. I think I'm in a bit of a reading slump. But I'm going to try my best. So, there it is. Some books I've read. Some books I have yet to read. Some books that I recommend. Some books I do not. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll find a good one. Alright. Well, bye-bye. See you next time, hopefully.